So I'm the head of IT for the WIN Consortium, the head of the IT platform for the WIN Consortium, and I'll be talking about what we've done in the WIN Consortium in terms of IT, our software for managing clinical trials, the algorithms that we developed for matching drugs and patients, and what we see as the future for algorithms and software for running clinical trials in this field. The algorithm we developed from scratch, based on an idea that was running around in the WIN Consortium, but they were developed from scratch. The CRF, the eCRF, the software we developed for running our own clinical trials, we went on around shopping, to check what's out there. What we found is that what's out there is either a Rolls-Royce or a Subaru, like too much, or not a Subaru even, a cart with a cart and oxen. So we decided to build our own based on a tool that was already existing in Omnisol, a company, a small startup. We paid them to develop something that we own in the end. So we have our own engine now for eCRF, which means that we can use it forever. It's part of the strategy because the way I see it, and this is what I'm going to say tomorrow, there's probably thousands of trials we need to do. And at $15,000 per patient, which is the cost now, that's not going to happen, ever. So we need to somehow figure out how to do this in a more sustainable way to bring the cost forget about cost per patient, that's ridiculous. It has to be cost per trial, and even that has to be low enough so that you can run hundreds and thousands of clinical trials without exhausting the resources of our countries. And so we built our own. This way, once we invested in it, we don't need to invest again. So we paid a company to do it, which means some of the technology they own, so we have to buy licenses to their software. But WIN is a non-profit organization, so I don't think we're registered as a non-profit organization, but we don't seek to create profit. So this means if somebody would come to us now and ask for the tool, we would probably want to regain some of the expenses, but we're not there to make profit. So something in between non-profit and cost recovery. So the way I see it now, there are people who see it differently, but the way I see it, there's a barrier between innovation and clinicians adopting it. And some of it is deployment, reimbursement. I don't care. I personally don't know how to overcome those obstacles, but some of it is just clinical evidence. So the fact that something looks good on paper, the fact that we can cure mice, doesn't mean we can cure patients. So the fact that something makes sense doesn't mean it's going to help. It's going to benefit the patient. Actually, we just heard this morning how adding vitamin E in the end hurt the patients and increased the chance for prostate cancer. So the fact that something makes sense and should help the patient doesn't mean it's going to help the patient. It could actually harm them. And I don't see clinicians adopting precision oncology without evidence, without clinical trials. So that's why I think we need to run 1,000 clinical trials or thousands of clinical trials before we can modify the way you do medicine, the way medicine is practiced. And somehow overcoming this obstacle would help the patients in the end. I mean, would help bring precision oncology to their clinician, and without their clinician, they're not going to benefit from all these wonderful things that people are developing. So I think the benefit to the patient in the end is convincing the clinicians that